What is up, everybody? Yes, of course. I was going to have a whole different introduction to the show. This is like the third season with me up here. We got the crew. We got E. We got J Mick, new guy on the show. We got C Henry somewhere on a bus trying to get ready for the podcast. But then all of a sudden, I got to change motion. I got to change everything up. This is already my opening thoughts. Terry McLaurin just requested for a trade. My brother, look, I ain't got no problem with it, bro. Fight for your bread, fight for. I fight for my bread this week. I had to make sure my check was in line with what I was supposed to get. But this don't sound like Terry. I'm just gonna be honest. This don't sound like Terry. That's where I'm at. But look, we got more on this topic anyway. But football is back, people. Hall of Fame game, preseason. So much happened this all season. We're gonna kick it off. Now it's time for Enter the Lab podcast. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Enters the Lab podcast. A brand new season is upon us. We got the gang here. It's your boy DT, Lady E, the new guy, J-Vic, and C Henry somewhere.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. I'm just happy that football is back. But obviously, we have so much to get into. But let's go ahead and jump in automatically. You guys already sending text to the group chat, and I'm in here studying with my girlfriend for her test. Good luck, baby, on your exam today. But let's go ahead and jump to the main topic already. Terry McLaurin has just requested a trade from the Washington Commanders. E, what is your instant reaction to this?
Bring him to the A, baby. Look, on the other side of Drake.
Are you for real?
No, I'm not. Be honest with you, that's a shocker. You got JD5 over there, you got Quinn, Kingsbury, you got a squad. Your squad was a shocker of last season. So to see the top guy, the top wide receiver, not be happy with trying to get his money and basically saying, hey, you're not going to pay me, trade me. I mean, we've seen that over the course of the years from the running backs to other wide receivers. So, yeah, at this point, it's either y'all got to meet him at his demands or it might be real. He could be looking at the Patriots. He could be looking at the Lions, could be looking at my Falcons. Somebody going to drop that money for him. So I'm just saying.
J-Bit, your reactions so far.
I mean, with the team that got the most cap space in the league,
got to be kidding me. Is this what this podcast turning into?
I mean,
what this podcast turning into?
I mean, the Patriots got over $50 million of cap space that we.
This is nasty.
I mean, it's just sitting on the bench, kind of just smiling at the dudes that want to get paid. I'm just saying. I mean, if y'all want to make a trade, I mean, you can send me a couple picks. I mean, a couple wide receivers that we have. I mean, we can make a deal. But I mean, like honestly speaking, I mean, like all of the joking aside, I mean, this is what guys do. Like, you don't get the money. You know what I mean? They've probably been negotiating ever since the season was over. This is what these athletes do. Like, they're going to either request a trade. They're going to unfollow you on like Instagram or I mean, like their like the platforms that they use, social media platforms that they use. And this is just part of the playbook, man. I hate to tell you that. Like, it's just, he got a number, y'all got a number. Like, so someone's gonna have to budge, and I'm not sure who they're gonna be.
I definitely agree with that. I feel bad because again, y'all have a promising team, y'all have a promising squad. If it has to come to this, then that's a major blow for y'all right now. Somebody has to budge, and if that request is going to get y'all to budge and pay him, then I mean, for me, just, I'm not trying to be selfish here, but, pay the man or he going to be somewhere else and y'all going to have to play against him.
That's a fact.
I hear everything. And I agree with everything y'all saying. It's the common thing to say when it comes to teams that definitely need wide receiver and it's a premium position. And Terry McLaurin has had a solid career, and for the first time in his career, he actually has a quarterback that throws him a dime on time, not behind him. So
exactly.
We had a podcast Sunday with Only the Huddle podcast. By the way, you guys can tune into that every Sunday and Monday, wherever multiple primetime games we got this year. But where I'm at with the Terry thing is I have to understand that we got to separate feelings from business. And that's the whole moral of the story is between Terry McLaurin and the new front office. Like, yes, Terry has been the symbol of this team. He has been the face of this team. He has been through a lot since 2019, ever since he got drafted. And, of course, for the first time, he has a quarterback. For the first time, they have a team that actually can compete with anybody. They won 12 games. That's the first time in almost 30-plus years they have done that. They won 2 playoff games. First time they've done that since 2005. They went to the NFC Championship with a roster that was still depleted, and they cut guys that were supposed to make plays with the team. But this front office does not move the same way that everybody wants them to move. This is an analytical front office. This is a front office that guys that came from the 49ers, winning organizations. Adam Peters come from winning organizations, multiple winning organizations, the Denver Broncos, the New England Patriots at the time, and the 49ers. He understands the value and things of that nature. And yes, I see where the point is. Terry wants the money be around DK Metcalf. I think that's a great comparison. Both of them came out in 2019, and Terry McLaurin has had more consistent stats, I would say, than a DK Metcalf outside the 1,300-yard year he had. I can't remember what year it was, but I think some people are going to say the traits is what attract people to a DK Metcalf. He's 6'4", about 235. Terry's only 6 foot, 220, but Terry plays beyond his size because he's one of the number one wide receivers when it comes to contested catch rate in the NFL. I have to separate my feelings for Terry, which I still love Terry, and I'm partially shocked, but I'm not shocked it got to this point because I kept hearing that it wasn't going to budge. They're not going to budge. And the 2 wide receivers with Garrett Wilson and Courtland Sutton have kind of throw a little hint at it. Sutton just got a $23.5 million deal. That's where Terry's at. Terry is at $23 million. So that's where I'm at, man. I hopefully, of course, he already requested a trade, and somebody's going to have to budge. Either Terry budge or AP and them budge, which, quite frankly, I don't think AP is going to budge.
Yeah, but see, my only thing is so I'm not a Commanders fan, but I do watch a lot of football during the year or whatever. My concern is y'all didn't. I get that y'all drafted. I think his name was Lane out of Virginia Tech, right? So y'all that's the only receiver that you drafted, right? My concern is that you didn't kind of protect yourself enough in case this kind of situation had come about. I thought y'all should have drafted a wide receiver a little bit early in the draft. Granted, y'all didn't have a lot of draft capital because you made some trades where that kind of took away from your capital that you would have had. But now, Terry kind of seen the situation. He looking at the depth chart okay, it's me, it's McCaffrey, it's Noah Brown, and then it's a bunch of a bunch of random guys. And I just think he see the advantage that they need me. So
that's a fair point.
I can get.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, a lot of people were expecting it to go that route, to kind of pick a wide receiver early if y'all weren't planning, because some people are saying this deal should have been done last season, not waiting until now, especially we're only 3 weeks away from the first game of the season. So
I will say this. I think if we're talking about that, I think that should be more on Terry trying to push for a deal last year than the front office. But I actually think the wide receiver room is better this year than last year.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, of course, Terry is currently not there, but Noah Brown, before injury, he was on pace for 700 yards. We didn't even have a wide receiver anywhere close to 700 yards for Terry his whole career. The injury threw him out a couple games. Deebo Samuel, we know what he brings to the table. Jalen Lane, a speed threat. Luke McCaffrey, he's a guy that we're still high on. He can create some separation and stuff like that. And I still like the room better than last year.
Okay,
it's not eye appealing on paper, but I still like the room. Now I would love it more with Terry.
And I think like with a quarterback like Jaden, like I mean it's not like you don't got to surround him with the best of the best, like so that's how I always viewed him. So
yeah,
it's saying that, but you still got to give him somebody that can catch and run after the catch. And I get Debo's really great at running after the catch. AKA yak yards. That's the thing that he does the best. My only concern with Debo is his health and can he stay healthy for the full 7 years? Like that. That to me is a concern. Oh, say what?
I said, how much weight did he lose? Because I know they were saying that he looked a little bit slimmer.
Debo is at 222 right now.
Okay.
Yes, that's not bad. I mean, yeah, but if he can stay on the field, yeah, I mean, if he can stay on the field and then you add Terry, like that's a that's a good one too. But that's the problem is Terry's not there, and if Terry's not on the field and you just got Debo alone, that could be an issue to me.
C. Henry, good to see you on the new season of Interest Lab podcast. What's good, brother?
What's up, team? What's up, team? First and foremost, man, I want to apologize for being late. Been traveling all day. Jay Mick, man, great addition, man, to the team, man. Glad to have you here, man. And
appreciate it.
Hey, man, this news about Terry, I just caught that, I'm saying, on the bus over here, man. I'm flabbergasted. DT, what's the word? I know you know the word in the spaces, but I'm here to hear what you guys have to say about it.
I gotta turn the spaces down so y'all won't hear the audio feedback. Cause it might get a little nasty up here. But I think everybody's mixed. Everybody's mixed right now. But I mean, I was just telling them, I have to separate feelings with business, and that's just what it is. At the end of the day, it's a business. Terry is not playing for Ron Rivera and his regime no more. He's playing with Dan DQ and Adam Peters' regime. They have a different style how they go about things. And me personally, I also told her, I think if we were to kind of get things out of the way, which I get it, this is a new regime, I think Terry should have kind of pushed for a deal last year, even though it was a new regime.
So you know what? I got to give a shout out to one of your commander brethren and fans, because that's what Saint has been saying for the last 2 or 3 months. He's been really, really pushing that. Terry's agent should have did this last year. And looking back at it, now it definitely seems like probably the right move to do then. But at the same time, if the ask was the same, if the dollars were the same, would the year really make that big of a difference? I don't know. Would Terry have had the same leverage? A lot of folks think that this was his best year ever. Touchdown-wise, it was. Catching and yards-wise, it kind of seemed kind of the status quo for him. So interesting to see how this plays out. I'd never thought that Terry would request a trade. I thought that they would kind of, meet in the middle, and they still can probably meet there. But this is interesting TV. And I ain't gonna lie to you. A little part of me is kind of happy this is happening. I don't know hater stuff, but I know in them spaces for 2 or 3 years, I was kind of telling y'all, like, Terry's a good player. He's a very good player. Outside of y'all, fan base, that's how we, look at him, but he's not elite. And I think that folks kind of, took that as, see, hearing and hear hate. That's not what I was doing, but this is a nice exercise.
I don't think that is disrespect at all. I mean,
some people, hey, listen, man. I would say something, and my man Dog Tire would have 5 different reasons of why. He would give me the why, but why he ain't never did 1,200, why he ain't never had more than 10 touchdowns. And I understand the whys, but at the end of the day, this is a comparative business. You got guys who have the same age, same draft, same ilk. So for the most part, they're going to be compared against those guys. And, there's going to be some context taken into consideration concerning the quarterback situation or what have you. But like I've said before, Terry ain't the first one to play with a bad quarterback. He ain't going to be the last one to play with groups of quarterbacks. And there's been some who've been a little bit more productive. But I think this is a good exercise for you guys to see that, sometimes business decisions trump personal feelings, like you said. And that's all I'm going to say on that, because I know the natives in DC is a little restless. You know what? It's been a little too happy for y'all. Y'all need a little bit of this acrimony. Y'all need a little bit of pain. So
bring them back down to reality for 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's so nasty, man. But all right, so the Terry thing is definitely going to be trending right now. We'll probably swing back to a little bit to this conversation, but we also want to talk about real quick before we get to the main of the show, another person who is asking for some dollars still. That is Cincinnati Bengals defensive end Henderson. So what do we think about that so far? Like, obviously, he come off the year having 17 sacks, but the Cincinnati Bengals missed the playoffs going 9-8. We see Joe Burrow got his dual wide receivers got the bread. Mike Gesicki got the bread, and a couple other people got the bread. They just signed Noah Fant today. So do we think he's going to get his bread in some shape or form? Or do we think this is going to be it for him? Because to
be honest with that is true. Look, the Bengals have been in the spotlight for quite this whole entire offseason. I'll be honest with you. If they don't get it done, it's gonna look, again, a lot of people always say that the Bengals organization is crazy anyway. Look at their owner and look at everything that they're doing, even the whole Shamar Stewart situation that's going on. So they got to get it done. Either you're going to get it done or you're not, and then everybody's going to be kind of looking at your organization like we always been looking at your organization, crazy Bengals at this point. We know J.J. Watt got his money too. I don't think that he's going to get that, but in the same token, yeah, they got to get him signed, and they got to get him signed quick. That should have been their first priority in this offseason was to shore him up.
I mean, to me, like, people was always saying with the Bengals, like, they weren't going to be able to sign Joe Burrow, Chase, Higgins, and Trey, because those are the four going to be huge deals. And, like, they should have re-signed them. It goes to the Terry thing. If you would have re-signed them last year, these $40 million deals wouldn't have been out there in the first place. Now these $40 million deals out there. And I'm not saying he should make 40 because he's not so when you look at TJ Watt and you look at Myles Garrett, these guys, they're really good pass rushers and they're somewhat good against the run. I can't say Trey is that good against the run, but the problem is the sack reduction is there. So I'm not saying he should get 40, but he should be somewhere between 30, 35. And I just don't think that, and he just don't want a 1-year deal. Like, he wants a 2, 3, 4-year deal. I just don't think the Bengals had the money, like, to guarantee him for multiple years, and that looks like that's the issue right now. And so Trey might just have to play this contract out and become a free agent, because I don't think they're going to franchise him. Because if they franchise him, by the time that tag comes through next year and Micah signs his $40 to $45 million deal, like, the tag going to be it's going to be a tag. So. I mean, I think he's just better off just playing out the year, balling out, and just leaving and going to another team.
So real quick, is this the last year of his deal, or does he have other remaining years?
This is the last year.
Yep.
And how much is he? I'm sorry, I didn't look this up, but I'm gonna tell you, to me, he did report to camp, so I'm hoping that there's been some type of positivity going on with their with the negotiations. But like Jay Mick says, I kind of feel like it's going to be hard, man, to get $40 million out of somebody right now. But maybe it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it'll happen. Jay Mick, the question I have for you, or to the table and to the Bengals, is I understand you paid, I almost called him Carson Palmer, Joe Burrow. I understand you paid Joe Burrow. I understand you paid Chase. I understand you paid Higgins. And maybe this is just for me because, we getting ready to sign about 4 or 5, real big pieces. Who else are they paying? And is this a conscious decision by the management not to pay all the big pieces of their team?
I mean, so I'll say this real quick. Like the thing about the Bengals is on defense, they got a couple young guys that's coming up for contracts, and so that's when this matters. So I think one of the guys that got coming for a battle, for a contract is Dax Hill. I think he'll be eligible after this upcoming season, and they got a couple other guys. They're younger guys, so you got to kind of weigh it. Like you want to pay Trey 30, 35, but then you've got other guys that you might have to pay down the line, and where are you supposed to get that money?
Now let me ask you this: you brought up those young guys, and I'm glad you're here because we got an AFC affiliate nights. I'm not as familiar with Cincinnati's game. Yeah. Who are these young guys that you speak of that are going to have the possibility of making the impact that a Trey Hendrickson is going to make?
I mean, sack wise, you don't really have any. I mean,
not sack wise, just period. Like to me, if you're saying I'm gonna put this guy on the side burner or on the, you know what I'm saying, or to the side and pay these younger guys, then I got to kind of feel that impact that these younger guys are going to make. Or if you're telling me we're going to sign 3 impact younger guys, they may not make the same impact as Trey, but we can sign 3 of them versus 1 Trey. Then I can kind of see the math. But to me, it's kind of like no one really stands out on that defense enough to me to say, okay, Trey, we're not going to pay you. Uh-oh.
I mean, so I mean, 2 guys in that secondary that's coming up on contract because, like I said, Dax Hill and Cam Taylor-Britt. Cam Taylor-Britt had a down year last year, so I don't think it's going to really cost them a bunch to re-sign, Taylor-Britt if they so choose. I mean, because I think he's eligible after this year too. So you got those 2 guys in the secondary. I think Jordan Battle's a strong safety. He's not due yet, but he's coming up maybe in a couple more years. So that's just the secondary. And then you got, I think like Logan Wilson might be coming up on the deal pretty soon. He's one of their linebackers. So I mean, it's not a whole bunch of guys, but it's just like the Bengals issue is the ownership. They don't have a lot of, the only thing I want to say, like, I don't want to call the owner broke because every owner that's that team is a billionaire. But if you owners, he doesn't have the cash flow that the other owners have. And so that limits him. And when you're trying to sign these larger deals, because obviously, like when the guaranteed money got to be put in escrow, and so he don't got a lot of fluid money to be doing that. And so I think that's the issue. And so if you sign Trey, then the ownership might be like, well, we don't got a bunch more money left for the years to come, so we don't know who we might be able to sign, who we got to let go. Because if you remember the Bengals, like they made the Super Bowl run. The very next year they made the run to the AFC Championship game, and then a lot of those defensive guys on that team, they could not pay them, and they had to let them go.
I'm like, it's a pattern that goes.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna call him either cheap or broke.
So
I'm just saying.
So just looking at the at least top 5 players that are highly paid on the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, we got Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Brown Jr., Wilson, B.J. Hill, Gesicki, and you will have Trey Hendrickson as the 8th best player on 1 year of his deal. He's at $21 million. This is
that, I mean, like, and when JJ Watt knew, when that JJ Watt news came out and how much they gave him, everybody shut their eyes and went straight and looked at the Henderson deal, because you still got to pay Parsons. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, Jerry and them are not gonna sit over here and pay that money like a lot of people think. Jerry already said he regret playing. What's his name? You see, I forgot his name already. Dak. I was gonna call that man Dakota Rain. But yeah, so I mean, Jerry's already got a little deal on his hands. So if his deal comes out first, that just kind of shows exactly everything of how it's pretty much to be incapable of. But yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have the money to put in that escrow or have the money to kind of put in that flow for Cincinnati, he's gonna walk. Like you said, pay out on this contract, boom, there you go. And see what other teams are going to pay. There's going to be somebody that's going to be more than willing to drop that money and pay him between 30, 35, or even up to 40 mil.
Yeah, we will go ahead and see about that. These contracts are going to be ongoing for both of these players, but hopefully these things can get resolved. So let's go ahead to the next topic. Rookie quarterbacks. We got a couple of rookies this year. We're going to have at least a couple of them play their first game next week. So within this rookie class, there wasn't a lot of hype. There was a lot of people seeing it a little bit differently from the last draft from last year. Where, of course, Drake made Jada Daniels and Caleb Williams. But which rookie quarterback do y'all think is in the best situation right now?
I'm be honest with you, that's kind of hard. But I'm definitely gonna probably say, I think I'm gonna give it to Cam Ward right now with the Titans. I haven't really been following the Vikings, so I don't know. And yes, people might not think he's a rookie quarterback. Yes, he is. He missed his rookie season. Technically, this is his rookie season. So I want to see what JJ is going to do up there with the Vikings, kind of do that. But I think the way Cam Ward has, and kind of just listening to some of the things that's been coming out of their camp, I feel like Cam Ward is probably in the best situation right now. For him to be able to kind of take on that leadership role. I haven't really been hearing anything about the Browns with Shador and a couple of the other rookies over there. So yeah, I'm gonna give that one to Cam Ward. And don't include mine. Penix plays, so he's a sophomore this year. So don't even ask me about Penix. He's a sophomore this year. he played last year.
I'm gonna go Jackson Dart on this one, and the reason I go Jackson Dart is because when I look at the team, first of all, he don't got to play to week one. He can kind of sit behind. I mean, Russell Wilson. Some people really hate Russell. Some people like him a little bit. So I think he gives him a chance to sit behind a veteran, kind of learn the system, and then when if he plays this year or next year, he's already got a wide receiver one. He's got Malik Neighbors. Some people got Neighbors in their top 10. As far as top wide receivers in the league. So he's already got someone that he could throw to. It's just the Giants got to, fine-tune that offensive line. And so, they can fine-tune that. And then, they have two running backs. They got Cam Scatterbu, who they drafted, and they got Tracy, the kid that they drafted the year before. So, that team has weapons, and he's got time to kind of get comfortable with the system. So I would probably say he's probably in the best, situation for me. It's not a great situation. None of these situations for these rookie guys are that great. But if I had to pick one, I would probably pick that one.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, Jamie. I think Jackson Dart, if everything goes well, it'll be good for him because there are some things in his game that still need some work. And you have two veterans. You have guys who have had some success in the league, and also has some downfalls in the league. That is Russell Wilson and Jameis Wilson. I think those guys can ease him in, and while he still learns the playbook, while he still learns the nuances of the NFL game, playing under center, some that he didn't really do a lot at Ole Miss. So like things like that. When you look at the weapons and things like that around him, you have Malik Neighbors, you have Darius Slayton, a veteran, Wandale Robinson when he's healthy. The tight end group, they have a couple young tight ends in that room. They also have Tyrone Tracy, and they just drafted Cam Scatterbu. I think the offensive line still needs some work, but if all that thing pans out, with a Brian Daboll who works with young quarterbacks, I think that is probably the best situation out of all the teams in the NFL.
We can look at it that way too.
Yeah. I just think when you look at this year versus last year, like it's a lot tougher question because last year, when I was going to the draft last year, obviously my team drafted quarterback in the top 3, but it wasn't just 3 guys. There was a lot of guys in that draft, like Penix. Like I was a huge fan of Penix at Washington. I was a fan of JD5. I was a fan of, I don't say a fan of Caleb, but there's certain things that Caleb's game that I like. When you look at last year's draft versus this year's draft, I think Cam has a really good chance to be good. But after Cam, it's just like it's a lot of mad. Like I don't know, Tyler Show. I don't know if he's going to be good. Like I don't know if Jackson Dart's going to be good. I don't know. Some of them other quarterbacks, it's just not as a deeper class in terms of quarterbacks, and so that's why this question is so tough this year.
I'm in agreement with you. I think that there's a lot of boom and a lot of bust potential in a lot of these candidates here. And outside of Cam and Shador, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. So, hey, play at your own risk, teams. Play at your own risk.
Okay, so let's go to the next topic at hand. This off season, one person said they was quiet off season, but I beg to differ. There were a couple moves that made our eyes and mouths drop pause, you know what I'm saying? And we seen some things change around the league. So name one move that caught your eye during this offseason. It could be trade, it could be draft, it could be free agency.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start first then. Since I said it wasn't really that much excitement going on, because we used to some splashings and some booms and stuff. It wasn't really like that. I'm gonna say my team. Us going back into the first round, giving up a first round draft pick next year to go back in and get James Pierce Jr. So yeah. I'm gonna say that because right now it look like we got a dog. So kind of happy about that.
What I'll do is I'll go the trade route, man. Like I'm gonna go Geno to the Raiders, man, because when you look at the Raiders last year, like they had a tight end that obviously came from Georgia. I mean, literally had the best tight end season last year. I don't think you can really argue with that. I think it is what it is.
Playing with the quarterback that he had too. Let's put that out there.
Yeah, I mean the quarterback play in Vegas last year was bad. So I think Geno going to the Raiders along with he's going to be there with his with his coach that was in Seattle with him too. When he kind of turned his career around. So I mean you got to look at that situation where like that's a stacked division in the AFC West. But I mean when you look at it, like they got a quarterback that they got a tight end in Bowers that's like a top 5 tight end. They drafted Genty. So I mean, like offensively, like they kind of got something cooking over there in Vegas a little bit. Defensively, not so much, but offensively, yeah.
Excuse me, I got the sultry sounds of a Jamaican queen behind me, but I'm going to go with Davante Adams. Davante Adams in a very sneaky move, man, for the Rams, who are in the middle of kind of rebuilding but still contending while they're doing it. I think that Davante and Puka will be a great combo for Matthew Stafford.
I'm sorry, I had a student call me laughing about the Terry McLaurin trade.
That's just rude. That's just rude. But I'm laughing at Henry right now because that man is in Jamaica over here chilling.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go with 2. I'm gonna go 1 for being biased. I'm gonna go with Larry Tunsil being traded to the Washington Commanders because you shift Brandon Coleman into the interior where there were a lot of people projecting him to be guard, and you get a top 10 left tackle in the league to protect the blind side of Jaden Daniels, and that I think that was a good quality move, and that was a shocker as well. But I also think George Pickens going to the Dallas Cowboys to team up with CeeDee Lamb to provide another target for Dak Prescott. I think he's going to be in for a very expensive heyday, even if he doesn't re-sign with Dallas. But all eyes will be on George Pickens being with a little bit healthier situation in terms of the quarterback. We know Dak, he's capable of throwing for 4,000 yards, 30-plus touchdowns, and George Pickens, he has wide receiver 1 ability. Him playing with CeeDee Lamb, that's going to be very good for not only against football teams itself, but for fantasy numbers. So look out for George Pickens on the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm gonna tell you, man, that and I don't like to, big up y'all too much. That Tunsil pickup, man, for Jaden, you know what I'm saying? A standout left tackle for that run game. That's a big addition for you guys, for sure.
I just with the George Pickens thing, I'm going to be honest. Dak better get him the ball. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh Lord.
I mean with the Pickens thing, like it was funny for me because the Steelers got DK, and I was thinking it was about to be like a crash out session in Pittsburgh. That's what I was thinking for a second. Until they traded, traded George Pickens away. But I mean, I think Pickens and Dallas is going to be good for Pickens because like he's going to get to play next to CeeDee Lamb. So I think CeeDee Lamb might, he might calm him down just a little bit. So
what's a little bit? What's a little bit?
I mean, he's just not going to crash out every game. That's why. I mean, that's all that really you need to do. Just
okay.
I think if they feed him and they win games, he'll be okay. He'll be okay. But you're right. The crash out factor in Pittsburgh with both of those guys was over the top, man. And I ain't gonna lie, I think that Pickens, and I may be wrong here, but to me, Pickens may be a better all-around receiver than DK. I think his ceiling, he may not be as accomplished and refined now, but I think his ceiling is much, much higher. Well, I should say much higher, but it can be higher than what DK is. And you get him with a quarterback now. Let's see what happens.
I mean, we didn't get to really experience him like we wanted to at Georgia, but we knew that he was a special wide receiver. We knew that. I mean, he had his crash out moments and childish moments, but we really didn't get a honest, true, I guess you can say, evaluation of him when he did play to Georgia. So to see him go in and play now, he definitely has that. He has it to do it. He just, again, quarterback just got to get the ball and don't crash out.
Yeah, that's. I mean, the no crashing out is the key for him. That's what the key thing is. So,
who do y'all think will have the better season, George Pickens or DK Metcalf?
See, that one is kind of that one's kind of tough. If you're going to lean on, I guess you can say previous years, you would probably lean towards DK, but if you're looking as far as who is going to have the better ceiling on their team, then you definitely can point to George Pickens. It just depends on what you're looking at as far as, I'm looking at quarterbacks. I mean, Russell is going to get DK the ball. I mean, and Dak is going to get George Pickens the ball, but it really all depends on kind of, be schemed up, how they're going to be played against other defense, how other defenses are going to play them. And then again, the consistency in the quarterback play. I mean, Dak is coming off of an injury. Russell is coming from a whole, he was there last year. But Russell is coming and now having to work with, he worked with Arthur Smith, but some of the plays I've been seeing with Arthur Smith from training camp got me really scratching my head. So yes, we're going to see how he does working with Arthur Smith. So again, especially with DK in that system too as well. So it's either or. I mean, then Dallas got a new head coach too as well. So
yes,
give or take right now.
So I'm gonna go with an unconventional answer. Like I think it's gonna be George. I think if you're talking about raw numbers, like who's gonna get more catches, more yards, more touches, I think it's gonna be Pickens because Pickens is playing with CeeDee. He's playing with another guy that a lot of people consider CeeDee like a top 3, top 4 wide receiver. So CeeDee going to get a lot of attention. And so that's going to leave a lot of one-on-one situations.
And it was George, yeah.
For George. And also, the Cowboys have, Ferguson as a tight end. He's a really good tight end. I'm not saying like the best tight end in the league or anything like that. But I mean, he's somewhere in that little top 10-ish range. Mm-hmm. So I mean, there's multiple weapons that like the Cowboys have. And when I look at the Steelers have DK, and after that, they got Freiermuth, and I like Freiermuth as a tight end. He's a pretty good tight end, but they don't really have.
And they just picked up Janu.
Yeah. I mean, like Janu. They got 2 solid tight. Well, they actually got 3 solid tight ends, so they got 3 of those guys. But the problem is at the wide receiver position, it's like DK, and they got Calvin Austin, and then I think they drafted Roman Wilson out of Michigan a couple years ago, but he didn't play because of the injury. So I just don't know if those guys are going to take away, or draw enough attention that DK might be seeing double teams a lot. I mean, let's just be honest. That's what he might be seeing.
And that's why I threw out however Arthur Smith is going to scheme him, however he's going to make these plays with it. Are you going to, scheme him to where, yes, if he do get double teamed, what are you going to do on the back end? You stop those double teams from happening to get him open more frequently. So that's why I said if somebody wants to look at what DK done over the past and that, his receiver numbers, like you said, then somebody's going to go with DK because he has more consistency than what Pickens. But if you want to go with ceiling and what they can do on the team, then you're definitely going to pick the Cowboys for that and pick George of who's going to have that season.
And they also got to throw in the fact that the Steelers drafted Caleb Johnson out of Iowa to replace Najee Harris. Like that dude between him and Jalen Warren, they're going to be. Let's not get it confused. Like we know who their offensive coordinator is. They're going to run the ball a lot too. It's not just going to be this high flying passing offense.
I mean, we kind of seen it last season too, kind of how what they're doing. That's why he went out and got Jonnu, because he wants to run those 2 tight end sets a lot. So again, it just depends on how that scheme is going to work. That how you're going to look at it.
Yeah, I got you. I was just about to read what you had to say, C. Henry. Let's hear that background.
Did I miss something? I'm sorry, man. She over here. She doing the hurt right now, man. So you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of hurt. Yeah.
He is just having a blast and having a time. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
There he is.
Oh man. Travis.
I'm sorry, I don't know. She was so loud. I didn't want to give my DK take, but I think DK probably has a better year this year because he's the number 1 receiver, and maybe they feed him a little bit. We don't know what Calvin Austin's going to be. We don't know quite what Roman Wilson's going to be. Pickens has CD over there, and I think there is a potential that he has a better year, but he does have that number 1 kind of dominant receiver. Will that help in terms of freeing him up in terms of the coverage that he sees? One against a team's 2nd or 3rd best cornerback, or will it cut into even into his targets and things? So, a couple things you got to balance, but I do like the change for Pickens.
She's singing her heart. Boy, good God. She's singing her heart out, bro. That's crazy. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about each of our teams. So let's just discuss in this panel right here. So let's talk about some of the moves that we made. What is our optimism with each team, the Falcons, Commanders, Lions, and the Patriots? What are some things that you feel like we'll be strong at this season? What are some things that got you a little bit questioning the concerns at, and what is the optimism for this season? We'll start with J-Mick, new on the show. Let's talk about the New England Patriots. You guys going with a new regime this year. Mike Vrabel returns New England to become the head coach, and you have Drake May year 2, and you also have Josh McDaniels returning as the OC for the New England Patriots. So what are your thoughts on the optimism of the New England Patriots this season?
I mean, optimism is high for the fan base. Obviously, like everybody know, going into the free agency period, we had the most money to spend, and we did a lot of spending. That's just the reality of it. We got Milton Williams from the Eagles, like the Super Bowl champs. So signed him in free agency. I mean, we signed a linebacker from the Raiders, Spillane. I mean, he's real good. He's real good against the run. He's a really violent player. We also got one to see Henry Guys from Detroit. Carlton Davis got him as well in free agency. We signed Moses, a right tackle from the Jets. He's more of like a veteran presence for our like O-line room. So that was, that was a good upgrade because, our tackle play last year was probably the worst tackle play in the league. I mean, whether you're talking about pass blocking or we're talking about run blocking. So we made, a lot of improvements from the free agency market. Our draft, like a lot of people were saying that we had one of the better drafts. I mean, I liked our draft for the most part. I mean, my favorite pick was Travion Henderson, because anybody that knows me and the mocks I was doing, every mock I did, I was taking, Trey in the 2nd round, like every single mock. So I really do love that a kid at the running back position. I mean, when you pair with Mondre, that's going to be a really good 1-2 punch. And then some other draft picks I like, and we got my guy from Georgia, Jared Wilson. I was surprised that he was around the 3rd round. I mean, because he was one of the best center / guards that was coming into the draft. And so like the reports from camp is like he's pretty much taking the left guard position. I mean, so so he's having a really good camp. I mean, our line was pretty bad last year, but you got veteran guys that's offensive linemen on our team saying that they're really I don't want to say surprised, but like they're really impressed with his play. We only been like training camp for like maybe like 2 weeks. So I mean he's playing extremely well. And then so I mean like last year, I mean like we got gassed a lot on defense in terms of the run game. So like they added other pieces in the draft. I think Joshua Farmer out of Florida State, who's a D tackle. And they added Swinson out of LSU as an edge. So I mean, like we had a lot of draft picks, had a lot of money to spend. I think the roster has been definitely upgraded. Coaching wise, been upgraded, going from Gerard Mayo, who only got a year, to having Mike Vrabel, who's an experienced head coach. Josh McDaniels is someone that we're used to. I mean, he's been an OC here for a while. As long as he's not the head coach, I'm good. So that's. So I mean like the additions that we had. I mean, and like I said, the fan base is hot. Like, I mean, we are being picked to finish second in our division. And a lot of people call us a sleeper team. So I mean, like they expect us to do big things. They expect us to win some games, and some people even got us going to the playoffs. So
okay.
All right, E. Let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons year 2 with Michael Penix, year 2 with Raheem Morris. You guys address heavily with a price edge rusher position in the draft. Michael Penix in year 2 looks to be exciting with Drake London. My bad, Drake London, and there's some little tweet and some little jokes about him throwing to Kyle Pitts at practice. So what are optimism for the Atlanta Falcons in year 2 under Raheem Morris?
One, as long as Raheem got his clock management skills together, we'll be excited. But no, Terry had to keep his job. So Terry had to make some decisions and make some good decisions. If anybody knows the pattern with the Atlanta Falcons, we always try to go after the big name, top name guys, and we end up either not getting chose, coming in and trying to do all of that. Terry knew that we had to address our edge and let alone address the defense. As you can see, we had like 4 straight picks of straight defense. So that just shows you where we were and what we were needing to do. Yes. Did we take 2 first rounders and Jalen Walker? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't think nobody knew that Jalen Walker was going to be there when we drafted, to be honest with you. So to see that and grab him and then turn around and grab Pierce, and already said that Pierce was already on the board, that if they couldn't get Jalen, they were definitely going to go after him. So to come back in and to trade back in to get both of those guys really sold. I mean, we even went out there, got Bowman from Oklahoma, and then turned around and got Xavier Watson. So those 2 right there, we're expecting some big things over there, especially with them, kind of switching up, playing with Jesse Bates back. So we'll talk about Jesse here in a minute, but we picked up Leonard Floyd as well. Leonard Floyd has taken James, as we call him, JPJ, underneath his wings, kind of being a little mentor for him. So we had a little scruffle, in training camp. Love that. It builds character. One of our offensive linemen told JPJ that he was a wasted pick. So I love it when it comes down to it. So we're seeing that dog mentality. We're loving it right now. I know Jalen is on a modified plan for a training camp, so probably a little tweak, but want to take those precautions. Michael Penix has been doing very well. Like they said, been working in and getting Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is still kind of like on a little modified as well, too, because he was kind of injured going into training camp. So, again, we have a lot riding. Kyle Pitts needs to show out so he can get his contract. We did pick up his 5th-year option, but that means he is still playing for a new deal, an extension. So he has to, show out. A lot of people said 700 yards. I'm just like, hey, I just need to see consistency. The yards, I'm not caring. If you get 700, cool. You get 1,000, cool. You get under. I just want to see the consistency at this point. But he does have to show out that we are looking probably to him to be number 2 out of Drake London. I'm not worried about Drake London. I'm not worried about Mooney, even Ray. Shout out to Ray. I'm not worried about those guys really right now. And that offensive line looks good so far. But other than that, I mean, hey, it's going to be between us and the Bucs again this year, as long as we can solidify it this time. So, yeah, we're looking good. Our schedule starts out pretty tough. We see the Commanders real soon, but our schedule's cut out pretty tough this season. But, we're working with it. As long as my defense is there, is that Jesse I don't know how much longer we have against Jesse. Kind of found that out today that we might not be able to resign him if the number's not looking too good. So might be losing Jesse Bates here soon, but we'll talk. We'll have that discussion when that cross there. But that's just my one question mark going into there. But other than that, we in the A, baby. We chilling. We can't wait.
All right, see Henry. So the Detroit Lions, obviously we know they were in the NFC divisional round. Both coordinators are now gone. They are probably head coaches in the National Football League. So what are the optimism going on with the Detroit Lions with Kelvin Shepard as DC and John Morton as OC? Is you under the seat?
Don't worry. Everything's gonna be all right.
That better not be the song.
That's
If
right.
that's the actual
Hey, listen,
song,
man.
I'm gonna be weak, bro.
Sorry about the noise, but again, I apologize. But guess what? I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Super Bowl or bust for us. Super Bowl or bust. To DT's point, a lot of people are making a lot of commotion about our 8-10 lost coaches. So they say I get confused. It's really not that deep for me. I think really it's 3 coaches that we really have to worry about. That's Ben Johnson, that's AG, and that's our defensive line coach that left. But I like the guys that we brought in. Shepard that you mentioned, who was already in the system here. We also brought in John Morton, who was also here in 2022. Again, I apologize for the noise. But I think that, again, we didn't do very much in free agency. We basically attacked the depth issues that we had from our injuries from last year. Really only got one starter out of that, and that's DJ Reed from the Jets. Basically, we're just hoping to get healthy, and a couple of healthy reinforcements from the draft, like Tate Rutledge and Tyleek Williams to help out in the trenches. And again, if we get our health back, the coaching comes together and everybody meshes, I think we're going to be in the mix again. We're putting a lot of the onus on our young players to continue to progress and get better. That young core has carried us to the NFC Championship game 2 years ago, to the divisional game last year. Hopefully, with a little bit more maturity and experience, we can take the next step and win a Super Bowl this year. Super Bowl or bust in Detroit, baby. Don't worry.
God. Oh my gosh, bro. All right.
I love it.
All right. So with the Washington Commanders, obviously we were in the NFC Championship. We lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. The whole offseason, I've been screaming on my podcast, the trenches needs to be addressed. You win the National Football League with the trenches, and what the Commanders have done, they have signed multiple offensive linemen. They signed multiple defensive linemen to address the size and the integrity of the front. They did lose Jonathan Allen, but they did sign Javon Kinlaw. Now, of course, that's definitely a downgrade in some sorts, but I think, with him coming in, he provides some size to play that elephant in that they did in Seattle under Dan Quinn in the 2013 time with the Seattle Seahawks. They have some things up their sleeve. A lot of young players on that defense as well. Mikey Sanderstill has been balling. The confidence that he is showing year 2 in the system. Trey Amos, a rookie that we drafted from Ole Miss, he's looking like a star in the making in that secondary. This defense, I'm expecting the defense to take it up a notch. I'm not thinking it's going to be a top 5 defense, but you just need to complement your star quarterback in Jada Daniels and getting off the football field. What are some things that DQ defense do very well? Get to the quarterback, attacking style of defense, create turnovers, flipping the field. That's what I want to see more of this defense this year. And of course, with Jada Daniels coming in, the offensive line has been retooled with Larry Tunzel, shifting Brandon Coleman inside. You get Biotis back. Sam Cosby is still recovering from his ACL, but he is still looking strong. There are some talks and chatters about him. There's a possibility he might be ready week 1, but we'll see when we get there. And you drafted Josh Conley, the first-round pick out of Oregon, to play the right side at right tackle. Wide receiver spot, you lose Zacchaeus and De'Ami Brown to free agency, but you trade a 5th-round pick for a Deebo Samuels, multi-talented player that can do everything. And in this style of offense, he's going to get a lot of volume within the wall. Then you have drafted Jalen Lane. Luke McCaffrey comes back another year. You sign Michael Gallup, a veteran. Noah Brown comes back. Hopefully, perfectly, we pay Terry McLaurin. And Zach Ertz and the tight end room comes back solid. So this offense might be looking to take the next step with Jaden Daniels. And, of course, everybody's talking about the sophomore slump, this and that. But Jaden is studying you guys as well. He's preparing for the most. So I'm very confident that Jaden Daniels is going to come in and play like he's always been playing and maybe take it up a notch. Of course, they relocated to the room.
Room is ready. All right.
Yeah. I mean, like, the crazy thing was, I was talking about my team. I didn't even mention Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs somehow escaped my mind. I didn't really mention him, but yeah, I mean, we also got him as well. So I just wanted to mention that.
Stephon had already mentioned himself. He didn't had him a little pink summer. Get it?
Stephon good. I mean, like, you know, like this is. I mean, I've been telling people, as long as he's ready to go week 1, he can do whatever he wants. I don't care what he do. You know, in the months of May, June, and July, you do whatever you want to do. Really, I don't care. Personally,
that's understandable.
Because we ain't had a wide receiver 1 in about a good 4 or 5 years. It's been a long time since we had a wide receiver 1. So, yeah.
Hey, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how he's gonna, you know, get with Drake May and see how that is, and see what Drake May is gonna do for this second season.
Yeah. I mean, like, and I mean, like, just looking at the, you know, like all these second-year because we got a bunch of second-year quarterbacks. There's a bunch of like interesting like storylines, either when it comes to Caleb or JD5 or Drake, you know, Penix, you know, Bo Nix, JJ. Like, I mean, you know, it's a bunch of guys that we just got to watch. So I'm very, you know, like, I'm gonna look forward to that this year too.
Oh yeah. Especially to see what JJ gonna do. I mean, he didn't get his start like he was supposed to. So let's see if he can fulfill those shoes and see if that's, you know, everybody thought JJ was gonna be the one. So let's see.
Yeah.
Because Bo Nix kind of proved a lot of folks wrong.
Yeah, and I know he proved me wrong. I mean, and I'm not ashamed to admit it either. Like, I didn't think he was gonna be that good, and you know, I mean, his season was really good. So
yeah.
All right, so I mean, I think this is all we got for y'all tonight because this game is definitely about to kick off. They just introduced the 2025 Hall of Fame class coming up, and we got the Chargers and we got the Lions playing tonight. And I know C. Henry's going to be very excited to see
in
him
the room watching the game. Yep.
Might not even pop back on the pod. But any final thoughts before we head off?
Watch out. Falcons coming. Playoffs. I don't care if we won and done. Playoffs. Playoff me, please. Y'all ain't got nothing to talk about. He ready to go sit over here and talk about Terry. He got to go.
I got one thing. My
man, he ready to pop into that space. That's what he ready to do.
My heart. I need y'all to fix something. Either you pay him or you don't. I'm preparing my emotions.
And on that note, we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, this is nasty, bro. Oh my God. Pay Terry! Pay him!